We have had initial engagements from NUPEA, the Nuclear Power and Energy Agency, with the community. However, due to some disagreements or divergent voices, it's like NUPEA decided to engage different levels of the community in ways that have, to some extent, isolated some members of the community. For example, today here, as you have seen, this is supposed to be a stakeholder engagement. However, I think we have had only members of the committee that was select and a few others coming on to attend. And so you find sometimes probably we do not get the deeper concerns that are supposed to be addressed, which probably would inform the right way or the right perspectives about the development of this nuclear power plant. Stepwise development of the nuclear power plant. NUPEA has consistently told that there are several issues. In fact, they say 19 issues that they are addressing. However, some of the concerns that are really key for us as a community are issues pertaining to how they handle or they intend to handle the risks in the event of an accident, for example. And when we look at history in terms of similar events that have happened in this world as far as nuclear power plants operations are concerned, like in the Chernobyl incident or the Fukushima incident recently, that was 2011, you find that reports have clearly indicated that there was gross under-insurance of these plants, to the extent that what has actually been thought of as the liability and what has actually been insured against are very staringly different. So that in the event of an incident, you find people, the cost that would have to go to covering people in terms of health issues, treatments, compensations and all that are actually way far below than actually what was actually insured. And even today in the presentations have clearly indicated that the chances of having incidents of nuclear power plant are very slim. Now, if they are slim and they're extremely low, it means then that gives room for the insurance agencies to actually probably insure at very low cost or probably even no need of insurance. And those are the concerns that we want to have a NUPEA address, because they will give us the comfort that, yes, they have thought about us in terms of our continuity as a community, and then we can be able to actually engage rightfully to see whether the project is viable or not. Secondly, NUPEA have been giving us varied responses in terms of the decisions that have been made in terms of where the nuclear power plant will be built.
Thank you so much. As you know, my name is Engineer Eric Ohaga, the Director in charge of Nuclear Energy Infrastructure Development at NUPEA. Sites that we are looking at is our base site and alternative site being Kwale. Kenya has been in this particular journey for the last 12 years. Right from 2010, when the idea to have nuclear power program included in our national grid was mooted by the National Economical Council. And we've gone through this particular process until now. Of course, the committee that was responsible for this particular aspect having been formed in 2010, 2012 becoming a board, and of course in the year 2019, we became an agency that's now responsible for development of the nuclear power program, also looking at the capacity building within the energy sector and petroleum, and also research and development within the same ministry. So we are happy that we have been following the milestone approach, which is the International Atomic Energy Agency milestone approach, looking at the 19 infrastructure issues that we have developed consistently for the last 12 years. And in 2015, we undertook an INIR mission, which is Integrated Nuclear Mission, just to look at the level of preparedness for our country in regards to development of the nuclear power program. And also we had a follow-up mission that happened in 2021, June, and out of the recommendation that we are given, the 15 recommendation that we were given in 2015, Kenya demonstrated that we had closed all the gaps out of the 14 recommendations that we are given. And we are given a green health in terms of progressing to the next level, which we are now talking about the second phase of the development of the nuclear power program. So we are looking at now undertaking a very detailed scientific and engineering study on the site, and we have the preferred site being Kilifi and the alternative site being Kwale. So currently we are looking at possibilities of accessing the land. Once that land is accessed, then we shall be able to start the study that will then confirm the site so that we can start our program in earnest. According to our roadmap, we are looking at switching on the first nuclear power plant in the year 2034, and therefore we have under 12 years to develop all the infrastructure issues so that by the year 2034 we can make this grid a very clean and reliable grid. As we saw, we have certain energy mix, and 7% of our energy currently consists of the diesel fuel plant, and the country is dedicated to ensuring that these diesel plants are replaced with clean, reliable source of energy, and that's why we are looking at bringing on board nuclear energy by the year 2034, so that by that time we shall be 100% renewable and clean energy in our situation. So we have developed, for example, the human resource development, very critical for operation, design, and maintenance of the nuclear power program. So over the last 12 years, we've been developing human resource, and we shall continue to develop, currently standing at 66 at master's level. And on the short courses, we have undertaken about 500 short courses that we've taken Kenyan people to the International Atomic Energy Agency for short-term training, and this will enable us to continue deploying the nuclear power program. Stakeholder engagement is also a very critical infrastructure issue, and it's a continuous process. We have engaged with the lawmakers, the senators, the governors, the MCAs, and we shall continue to do this even as we continue with these aspects of deployment of the nuclear power program. Of course, siting, that's a process that also we undertook, looking at the country generally and starting with the 29 sites within Lake Turkana region, Lake Victoria region, and also the Indian Ocean, and we ended up with the Indian Ocean being the preferred sites. So we shall be starting with 2 sites, one in Kilifi and of course the other one in Kwale, as we continue to bring on board the sources of energy that we are looking forward until 2040 in progression in that particular regard. We also say that we are very critical in terms of bringing on board the most state-of-the-art nuclear technology, and that is what we have been evaluating in terms of reactor technology assessment, both for the large nuclear power plant and also the small modular reactors. We have also looked at the possible vendors in terms of the vendor readiness assessment, and we shall continue to update our report as we get more information from these vendors across the globe. Thank you. Thank you so much. And I think the reason why we are here today is to continue with that stakeholder engagement. As we've said, over the last 10 years, we have been taking this particular message to the Kenyan people, starting with the legislators, coming down to the 47 counties. When we even undertook the strategic environmental impact assessment, we had an opportunity to move across this country, across all the 47 counties. And you know, that is a program, the nuclear program, which is highly regulated. And we are happy when you get these questions from the stakeholders, because then we are able to talk to them, we are able to give them the right information. Nuclear is all about safety, safety, safety. It's about safety culture, because you can't postulate an occurrence of an incident or an occurrence of an accident in a nuclear power program. And in the design of the nuclear plant, that is what you spend money to ensure, that you try to mitigate the risks that can come as a result of an incident in the nuclear power plant. So when you look at the designs that are available globally, they have made those provisions that there should be minimal interference in terms of an incident happening. And in the event that it happens, then you should be able to mitigate the same. And that's where we have various layers that ensures that the human being, the population, even the environment within the nuclear power project is protected against any adverse effects of nuclear incident.
Tumeona kwamba kulingana na vile mimi naona kama county commissioner wa Kilifi, hizi pingamizi mingi ni state managed. Unaona? Yeah. Nimekaa na wananchi, tunakaa na hawa, tunaongea na hawa. That is why naona leo tumekuwa na mkutano, kwa sababu tumeona kwamba njia nzuri ili wananchi waelewe nini inaendelea. Watu wetu wote, including the media, hata sisi wafanyikazi wa serikali, ndio tumeitisha mkutano kama hii. Baada ya kumaliza hii, tuko na mkutano mingi sana tumepanga. Kwa mfano, mkutano kati ya technocrats, wataalamu kama huyu mwenzangu, pamoja na viongozi wote wa Kilifi County. So baada ya hiyo sasa tutakaa chini, tutapata entry point ya stakeholder engagement. Tukae chini sasa na wale tuseme kwamba hii project ni hivi, na umeona hata hapa wenyewe wamechukua committee 13 wenyewe wamekuja kwa mkutano leo kurepresent interests yao. Hata wakitoka hapa wataendelea sawa nini inaendelea. Nimechibu hiyo kwa kusema kwamba baada ya hii mkutano tunapanga mkutano sasa ya viongozi wote wa Kilifi, wanasiasa, kina governor, kina watu wetu MCS wote wa county plus heads of department. Tutakaa chini sasa tuelezane vizuri hii project inaendelea namna gani. Naona vile wamefanya leo ndio hata watafanyia wafanyikazi wote wa serikali pamoja na viongozi kutoka county government na national government katika Kilifi County. That is the next one. Hata hao rudi Nairobi kabla tujapeana date.
My name is Winnie Dubai. I am Director Strategy and Planning at the Nuclear Power and Energy Agency, and we are here today in Kilifi engaging a wide group of stakeholders, including the local community-based organizations. We also have the media. And the important role of being here is that we want to engage on issues of the nuclear power project, which is envisaged to be located within the coastal region, and Kilifi County portends to be the area with the highest potential for location of the plant. So we are here to engage the community, to answer the questions, to clarify, to provide information, because as you know, nuclear is a new subject within our country. And so residents of Kilifi and Kenyans at large have a lot of questions that need to be answered. They also need to be informed first on the justification of these projects and answering on any issues of concern to the community.